Good morning, Tommy Grisafi, ATI Pro Media. We have an action-packed show for you. I want to welcome the folks from Facebook. I want to welcome the folks from X. I want to welcome the folks from YouTube. And what else do we have out there? LinkedIn. Don't be afraid to ask us a question. We'll get to those at the end of the show. We have a big show today. Farmers are pissed in France. Now, this has been a trend. We've seen it come. It started in the Netherlands, Canada, Germany, Poland, other places, France. What's going on, boys and girls? We got an action-packed show. Brady's going to talk cattle. We got June cattle on the move. All the cattle's on their move. The back month of the feeders come roaring up yesterday. Grains are down. That's going to upset people, and that might be part of why those farmers are upset. We had some economic data come out. All that and more. Welcome to the show, guys.
Morning, Tom.
I just popped Rick out. Rick was in the show. He didn't even know it. I could hear the folks talking in the background.
Oh, my gosh.
Producer Rick, 2-star demotion. Look at hands up. All right, let's get in this
new rule. If you're in the show during live, you got to give a 1-minute monologue.
You know what? Let's
so be ready, Rick, Joe.
Rick, you want to be to the show? Come on, bring him in the show. Hi, Rick.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Guys, this is how the magic works right here.
That's right.
Tell us what's going on over there at Bloomington Corporate, sir.
Well, we have a nice break in the weather. We've gotten through last week was incredible. As you know, Connor got 2 inches of ice down in his place, and we're all rejoicing. We're getting rain, but it's fog. We'll take fog any day. Don't have to shovel fog, and it's great. But yeah, I know you got an action-packed show. We're going to get back to you guys and let you carry on.
I couldn't figure out what that noise was in the background. I thought I didn't know what it was, and I'm like, "You want to be on the stage? We'll get you on." Thanks, buddy. Thanks for everything you do. All right. Yeah, thank God no one was misbehaving. So speaking of misbehaving, I was down in Nashville. I got to host Scott the Cow Guy. What an interesting deal. I mean, this is live, right? There's 100 people watching. I love it. But there's, when you do a show like that, there's close to, hold on, I got to remove Rick's mic there. Hold on, let me remove him. Something's going on. Okay, there he is. He's truly removed now. It's interesting. When you're on a show like that, you're on a stage and there's only one person with you with the mics, but there's 8 people in the control booth and there's about 4 people helping design the show and everything else. One thing I did learn, Connor Brady and all you watching, is I am so sure we're doing the right thing with these live at 9s, because the way information travels and markets move, and to box it up and make it perfect for TV, the world's not perfect. And so people want live, and we're live. Connor, what's going on in the world?
Yes, sir. Let's jump right into it. First thing, we got a flash sale. 100,000 metric tons, cake and meal to unknown destination. Good to see. The flash sales are getting few and far between. I think, did we have a corn sale Monday? And before that, Tommy, I can't remember the last one we've had. So good to see. We'll keep rocking and rolling there. Other one, you touched on a little bit. The French farmers are riding. They are driving equipment to Paris. They're blocking roads, throwing vegetables. What are they so mad about, Tommy?
The thing I can think of is this: as the world changes, or some people use the word woke. I don't know. I've been exposed to a lot the last few days, but 99% of the people want to go to the store and see affordable, high quality groceries. And there's that 1%. It's like, well, I wouldn't mind paying more because I'm the one who produced that. And I think as farms have gotten larger, you did some research on France. How big is France versus one of the states in America?
It's a little bit smaller than the size of Texas.
Right. So if all the farmers in Texas were mad and they wanted to drive their tractors to the Capitol, right? It's a long way from Brady Huck in Kansas to Washington, D.C.
That's a long way to drive an X9.
Yes. And this isn't stopping. I don't think it was like a one-off in the Netherlands. I don't think it was a one-off in Canada. I don't think it's a one-off in Poland or somewhere else. And now Germany. I don't think these are one-off events. The world's changing, and farmers are being, they're being talked bad about. Remember what happened in Davos, where that, there's the word genocide, but I think the lady called it ecocide, and she said if you're producing any food, you're pretty much like a bad person. I don't know what the lady eats. It looked like she ate a lot, to be honest with you. So she's getting her calories somewhere. But boy, did she have opinions about how bad farmers were.
The ignorance in that statement. I haven't seen the one you're talking about, but other ones where it's like, we just need to stop farming. The ignorance just makes me sad.
Yeah, well,
But
they'll figure it out. Figure it
Yep.
out. Right. Headlines, we had a little inflation stuff, no big deal. Inflation's kind of calming down. Let's get in the charts. I got to get Brady in here. We got some big time stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Before that, Tommy, real quick, just a quick headline. We got our first ethanol to jet fuel plant opened in Georgia Thursday. So kind of flew under the radar. I feel like we talk a lot about the sustainable aviation fuel regards to soybeans, right? This is going to be corn ethanol. Good to see, right? We're going to need something for corn demand, soybean demand going forward. So the first one opened up. I think it was worth talking about. We'll see where that goes, though.
Real quick, I got a little color on something else. After I did Scott the Cow Guy yesterday, I hosted, I think it's called like a market wrap show on XM Radio. And they asked me to fill in. That was interesting. But my guest was Arlen Suderman. My second guest was myself. So the second guest canceled. And they're like, can you talk for 5 minutes? I said, can I talk for 5 minutes? Hell yeah, that's my job. Let's do it. So anyway, I interviewed myself, got in a fight. It was horrible. But Arlen, I had asked him a question. And this is important. And we'll talk about this more as we move on. I said, Arlen, you're one of the best, if not one the best analyst in the industry. If we plant a lot of corn acres and Mother Nature's very kind and demand's just so, how many bushel carryout could we have at the end of 2024? You know what answer he gave me quickly?
What was it?
2.7 billion bushel carryout. There is a chance we could start talking about a 3 billion bushel carryout in years to come. If battery operated cars take over and we don't have a room, we're not crushing as much corn for ethanol. Now, there is a chance we could have a drought and shoot up $2-3 too. But the way it rained yesterday, as I drove home from Nashville to Indiana, that did not feel like a drought. That felt like a monsoon. So there is moisture hitting the United States. We're going to need some demand. And the only thing that's going to get this demand going is low prices. And that was the positive spin. He said, Tommy, we get corn low enough, the world will buy it. So interesting perspective. We'll talk a lot more about that in the Feb crop insurance.
I don't like, Brady said this a couple days ago. I don't like that our bullish card that we have to flip is that we could be so bearish.
Yeah. You have some chart, you have some graphs, and then let's get Brady on after that. And then I have some charts if we want. We're probably going to go a little long today, guys, gals. You want to ask a question, cue it up. Producer Joe will pop those up at the end.
Yep. Real quick, Rosario Grain Exchange had new estimates for Argentina, and they grew production again in corn and soybeans, slightly on corn crop production going from 56.5 to last time their estimate was 55. Soybean production growing as well, 52.5 versus 50. Now they've caught a little headlines recently. They had a very wet planting season. They're a little bit dry, but we're still expecting a big crop. And I think it's important because last year, Tommy, they had a major drought. Right, the number one soy meal exporter in the world hardly could export any. They had that. So this is something that's going to be a big number, right? They're going to have a big crop, and we've been talking about it consistently throughout the show.
That's interesting. What else do we have?
Yep. Mexico. Reuters had a great article about corn exports to Mexico. So long term, we've been talking about how Mexico has that GMO corn ban and how that's going to affect. And short story is it hasn't affected us yet. We're off to a great start with exports to Mexico. They very much filled the gap from what we're not shipping to China. And as you can see, that black line is where we are for 23-24. Best start we've had ever for our exports to Mexico.
That's good because the headlines you'd make it think like we're fighting with them, and that may not be as true as we kind of are verbally, but not. The proof's in the pudding, right? They're buying our corn. Is that correct?
Yep. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The news headlines might say they're not going to take GMO corn, but the facts are they are absolutely taking it and taking it very well. Here's the same one: Mexico share of U.S. corn exports. As you can see, we're still in line with the past couple years. Black line is where we are for 23-24, but near the top end of the range, exactly what we like to see. Mexico is stepping in being a corn buyer, because what we didn't see, right, Tommy, I gave you this fact and you didn't even believe me. I had to read it twice.
Yeah, I didn't believe you, but true story. I'm like, don't say that on the show. That can't be right. Go ahead.
I had to read it twice. The amount of Brazil exports to China that have came online from 23 to 22, right, is 14. The volume is 14 times larger than it was in 22.
This is corn.
So, this is corn, correct.
Okay,
correct.
When you said that, I thought it was beans. That's why in the Bible they talk about the doubting Thomas. That's me right here. I mean, these are
that's fair. I need doubted most of the time.
Right. There's enough fake news out there. I didn't want to be part of it. Hey, looking at the market, it's not pretty. Corn down 5, beans down 10, wheat down 16. On the positive side, live cattle, feeder cattle, ripping and gripping. Let's get Brady in here.
Yep.
Hey guys.
Hey, Brady. You guys talk cattle a little bit. I might pop out, and I could stay here. Whatever. Let's get. I'm gonna get Brady up top there. There he
You
goes.
bet.
I'll
Well, it's a
take the
good day.
bottom.
Yeah, it's a good day to be a cowboy. Every day is a good day to be a cowboy. Unless,
Yeah.
it's a blizzard or something. But 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have said it's a good day to be a cowboy.
Yeah,
So
I didn't like it when you texted us and you said you lost a calf. That's the tough part of the business,
It
right?
was not fun. 2 weeks ago was trying times, absolutely, for a lot of people across the country. But markets are moving higher. It's another great week in the cattle market. Cash market was $2 stronger on live cattle this week. I think that's what's supporting the futures move higher. Speculators, they're our friends today. Funds are moving back in. It's good to see. Slaughters.
What do we?
Go ahead.
What do we have? Fed feeders up.
Fab feeders are up 85 cents right now, 178.60, and the
I'll
April's
pop
at
them up, boys.
181.
Let's go a couple charts here. You want feeders, and you want what month do you want?
Do March feeders if you could. Are we on March?
Yeah,
Jan's in expiration. Jan's going to settle against the
yeah,
index here in a
here's
couple days.
March. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, here's March. I'll draw a line, see where
Yep.
we are here, so we can make it a little more clear.
March
We've had
feeders are up
we've had a
$1.20 here.
fantastic week. Yeah.
Yeah, big move. Last week was a great week. We've got a big inventory report next week, and there might be some fun positioning going into that report. I think we're about 50% retraced off of that September to December price break. So those Fibonacci's are right there. I think we're testing the 100-day moving average on that March chart as well. So definitely running into some technical stuff that producers should be paying attention to.
There's old Fibonacci coming right there. I don't think
that.
I know if I
That's
did that
slick,
right. But,
Tommy.
50% retracement, half back of the move. You got a
and that was
decision
just
to make.
sloppily put up there. But yes, good call, Brady. All seriousness, as this market rallies, this is probably an actionable level. I imagine people will be selling, protecting, buying insurance. You are a licensed insurance agent. Boy, who took it in the pants on that? How far did we sell off from $40
$270 to
feeders?
$210, I think, on that March $60 sell off roughly. We've retraced $30 of that. $30 on an 8-weight steer. I'm not very good at math. I went to K-State University. I got my cowboy degree. My math, not so.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. The bottom line is they're halfway back, and that's a level that people thought, boy, if they ever get here. Now, are they going to be like grain farmers, where if corn ever goes to 550, I'm going to sell it, and then we get to 550, and they think it's going to 6 or 650? That
point.
report at the end of January scares me. Speaking at the end of January, boys, switching it back to corn. We don't have crop insurance, and this farmer has been sitting there unhedged. Going to DS24 real quick. Felt like we're bottoming, and all the people on the shows. Myself yesterday spoke with Carly Garner on Scott the Cow Guy. I'm like, is farmers want to know, is corn going to bounce? I mean, it's an easy question they ask, and feel like we're oversold. But boy, if Arlen's half right with those numbers for that carryout next year, it's got to be demand that gets us rallying, our production problem, and we're not having either of those, boys.
Yeah.
And
Did you see the ethanol number this week, Tommy? We were down 236,000 barrels a day on the weekly ethanol production last week. That ethanol's been a huge piece of our domestic corn demand, and we got to watch those inventory levels and watch that production going forward too.
Yeah.
And
So
I think
real
to
quick,
like
yes, sir.
to Arlen's point, we pulled up that chart from Scott Irwin just talking about the yield potential just based on trend line yields, right? The takeaway that I'm seeing is that we have a drought? Absolutely. Could weather turn less favorable? Yes, but we also need to plan for what happens if the demand doesn't come back in a big way. What if we do pretend that we're really good at farming and have a great crop, right? If we're starting to plan to do that, make sure we're thinking about both sides of the coin.
Yeah, good points. Hey guys, let's any other charts, graphs, anything else you want to talk about? I have to get back to work. I actually, when I'm not playing game show host, I actually have a job. So let's throw up that last slide. We tell people to get a hold of us. There we go. Give us a call, 1-855-737-FARM. I got to pop this out of here to do that. Yeah, we got a question from Luke. All right, that's me clicking that. Sorry, Joe. All right. The SAF plant in Georgia using Brazilian sugarcane ethanol instead of corn ethanol because of the carbon score given. could sugarcane production increase? And
Great.
this guy asked the hardest doggone
He does,
questions.
and that's one thing I didn't touch on, Luke. I just wanted to say we have a ethanol to SAF fuel plant opening. It's a good win, but they did say in the article that they're going to use other feedstocks, right? And that's where the sugar cane's coming in. So to your question, and jump in, guys, could we see an increase in sugar cane? If the demand's in there, the people are going to plant it, right, guys?
Connor B, good looking and smart. Not a combination you see these days often. I have no clue what you're talking about, but I like it. Hey, you know what? It's not my job to know every single thing going on, but it is our job to do the best we can and get people smarter than us to report back to these good folks. Anything else, boys? There we go. Holy cow, look at that. YouTube, watch us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We have premium content coming available quickly. Of course, give us a call, 855-737-FARM, or email us at info@ATI ProMedia. Guys, once again, I'll be on Scott's show on this side of the camera today. I've learned a lot. I know how we can do a better job doing ATI ProMedia live at 9, and we're going to continue to put out content. Thank you, everyone.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.